What's up, you guys? Emma here. I wanted to just do a check-in episode with you guys. I try to do these periodically, and I'm trying to get better at doing more. As I am present on different platforms, I have some confusion on occasion in comments of people who don't or maybe don't understand sort of what I'm doing on one platform, what I'm doing on another, if they can't find a video on one platform, where to find it. And so I wanted to just give sort of an overview of where I am at and sort of what my strategy is right now, having video across multiple platforms, including starting a brand new YouTube channel, which has also been causing some confusion for people who either just found me again or just found me period and wanting to know a little bit about the episodes that I'm putting out. And so I wanted to just explain a little bit to you guys, depending on what platform you're on. You guys can sort of have a bird's eye view of everywhere that I'm at and sort of where to find me and where I'm streaming right now. So I'm gonna bring up my new YouTube channel. So for those of you who don't know, I had a YouTube channel recently that actually it was, I believe, in October. I had a YouTube channel. I built it up to 31,000 subscribers, and boom, one day it was just gone. I had, I think, one strike or two strikes, I don't remember. I made a video on that as well right after it happened, but immediately after, before I even had three strikes, I had posted up a video and or actually a couple of videos since I do multiple a week. And for whatever rhyme or reason, my channel was just terminated randomly, which was absolutely devastating and heartbreaking because it took me so long to build that. And it's like such a big feat when a platform that speaks on these topics so raw, like this podcast does, and like the guests on my podcast, when you're talking about child abuse and um, you're hearing it from victims, you get accused on these platforms of cyberbullying, of harassment. And so that was what I got terminated for ultimately. That was what YouTube said in its termination email, that my podcast is cyberbullying and it is harassing. So that is what victims get told when they share their story on these platforms, yet people promoting these lies about the perpetration that occurs on children and censoring survivors, supporting the False Memory Syndrome Foundation, you name it, get promoted. These creators get paid a lot of money to promote these lies, and small creators like me and the actual survivors that share the truth about what is actually happening and what they went through their firsthand testimonies get censored, terminated, and ultimately silenced. So in my rebellion against YouTube, I put out a video that said I'm going to be streaming to Rumble and X. I also have an iTunes, I have a Spotify, and I have a BitChute account that I'm going to show you guys. However, and um, my immediate rebellion against YouTube was to strictly be on Rumble and however, and I had a lot of support with that. People saying, "I'm gonna go follow you over there. I'm gonna go follow you over there." However, that has not been the case. Many of you who are on YouTube have not followed me over on Rumble. No matter how many times I had promoted that. And I know that it's a more difficult platform. It's not quite as user-friendly. There's not as much content on there. The library is not as diverse as YouTube, I should say. However, it is getting there. Some of the features are improving. I'm actually enjoying my time on Rumble, despite the fact that it still isn't quite up to the functionality of YouTube's platform from a creator end and a listener end, but I am enjoying it more and more. And on Rumble, I have my entire video catalog from my first episode all the way till now. It's been about 5 years of creating episodes. Um, all of them are on Rumble because Rumble does not censor, it does not give me strikes for putting up controversial content. The videos that were taken down off of YouTube perform absolutely fine on Rumble with no problem, no strikes, no warnings. There isn't much consequence. It's a very supportive platform for survivors, which is why I do actually encourage a lot of you on the other end to please switch over there if you're able to, just because out of a moral and integrity compass issue, they really are supporting, at least right now, and that could change. They're supporting this content and allowing every single one of my videos and testimonies to be heard without silencing, without censorship, and without penalizing me, the creator, for helping bring these voices on a platform. So just from a moral compass perspective, I would encourage you guys to go support platforms that do not censor this topic whatsoever and the creators bringing it forward. But with that being said, I knew that I still had to create another YouTube channel. I knew it would come down to it because I know a lot of you prefer YouTube as I do. I prefer YouTube as well from a creator perspective and as somebody who consumes video content myself. YouTube really is, in my opinion, it's the number one platform. You know, there's a reason why it's number one in every way. Um, from rankings to creators wanting to be on there to functionality. There's just a lot of reasons why YouTube is far superior than these other platforms from a functionality perspective and from the content that's on it being so diverse. You can literally find anything on YouTube, and it's kind of like the place where all creators want to be, you know? So with that being said, I do have a new YouTube channel that I'm going to show you guys right now. However, it is not my full library catalog. I have caught up almost to where I left off on my fifth season. So I am on my fifth season of recording. As you can see here, currently I have uploaded up to season 5, episode 25. I believe I am in the 70s right now currently, so I have about 50 more episodes or so to upload. But otherwise, every single video that I've ever uploaded that is YouTube friendly is on this platform. There are instances where you will see the numbers skip. I'm looking for, so for example, right here, episode 4, or excuse me, season 4, episode 76, and then it skips to season 4, episode 78. I don't know exactly the reason why off the top of my head, but my guess is there was an episode between this that did not make the cut to be on YouTube. So with some of these videos, they are exclusively on every other channel that I stream to, BitChute, Rumble, iTunes, and Spotify, and they are not on YouTube because I knew that I would get a strike. However, that hasn't deterred me from putting up most of my videos. I would say the majority of them are here on YouTube. And it goes back, like I said, to 2020 is when I started streaming and creating content and interviewing, and all of those videos are back. That is under the Imagination Podcast, and my handle is at Imagination Podcast Official. Thank you to those of you who have found me and who have rejoined the channel. I'm up to about 3,500 or so subscribers, which is really exciting. I haven't promoted this channel too much just because the videos aren't updated to their current video on other platforms. And hopefully that answers that question for those of you who write in the comments, is this a new or old video? I have had to, and I have tried in my spare time. I work a full-time job. I create a lot of content during the week that takes a lot of my time. I'm the one that records, edits, I create my thumbnails, I create my marketing material, I create my short videos that I post to platforms like TikTok and X and Instagram. I do all of it, and creating new content takes up the majority of the rest of my free time when I'm not working. And so in the free time, aside from my free time, I have been trying to just get these other videos up. It's been a slow process for me. It has taken me months to do this. Some weeks I'm really good at this, and I have been premiering about 3 videos a day. So that is about, I'm streaming about 20 or so videos a week, potentially, with the exception of I do not stream on YouTube at the same time that my new videos come out on channels like Rumble and X, where I'm streaming my new videos live. So again, all of my old videos and working up to current are on YouTube, and I have a burner YouTube account that I test every video on before I post it. So I know exactly what videos in the future will get taken down, which ones I can put up from my current video. So that is going to be how I decide what goes up on YouTube. I'm going to post a video to my burner YouTube account. I'm going to see how it performs, if there's any issues, if it gets terminated, if it gets some type of an alert. And that will show me as the owner of my new channel if this is something that I can or can't put up. So even though before I tried to push through, I tried to still just post every video here up on YouTube. This time around, I know that I just can't do it. I can't personally, emotionally, from a time perspective, from an energetic perspective, I can't lose another channel and do this all over again. I can't express enough how much time this has taken just to create a new channel and upload almost 5 years worth of content. It's exhausting. It is kind of frustrating in some ways. And for those of you who ask, can you put the date of when the actual episode airs? It's just too much work for me, you guys. I'm sorry. You guys can go on other channels, find these same videos and see when exactly they aired. Once I am caught up with this channel to my current episodes, you will get the live screenings and premieres of the brand new episodes, and they'll come out on their scheduled dates as long as they are YouTube compatible. So I hope that that answers your questions. Again, I would love if you guys would subscribe to me here and follow at Imagination Podcast Official. And this is going to be another main channel that I will be premiering episodes. And I'm going to explain that as well as I show you guys my Rumble channel where I am currently streaming, where I am currently at the majority of the time. So Rumble has been a very friendly platform. Like I said, I've had no issues. And although they aren't as sophisticated as YouTube from a functionality perspective, it still is very functional and they continue to grow and get better. And I have high hopes that Rumble will be a contender for functionality and for creators to migrate to who aren't happy with YouTube. And also for listeners who maybe want a different option other than a corrupt channel that doesn't support actual truth, and that censors and terminates creators trying to bring the truth onto their platforms. So with that being said, every Sunday night and Thursday evening, Central Time at 6 p.m., I put out a new video that is a brand new interview. It's an update video. It's something brand new. And so those are airing here on Rumble right now and also on X. X does not have the functionality of having a chat yet. It doesn't function very well as a podcasting platform. Rumble, however, does have the chat feature that YouTube does. It has a lot of the same functionalities. And so I have enjoyed this platform, and I get to actually hang out with you guys whenever I'm able to make those premieres. I have also added a third day of the week to stream, and that is Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. I am doing what's called the Imagination Podcast Movie Night, where I'm taking old content from survivors, and this will be an ongoing, growing library that I create aside from my podcast. As you can see, I have a Bryce Taylor interview. This was, I believe, from 1999. I have a Candy Girl video by Fiona Barnett, who's also a survivor, that aired in 2016. I have a Kathy O'Brien and Mark Phillips video that aired, I can't see whenever this one did, but I believe it was also, about 20, 25 years ago or so. And I'm going to continue bringing this older content to you guys who maybe didn't see it. A lot of these old interviews were what helped me wake up to this, and a lot of them were my inspiration to start a podcast. Seeing these random interviews, especially this Kathy O'Brien and Mark Phillips one, that was one of the first testimonies I ever saw on this topic, from a survivor's mouth and from their personal firsthand account. And it was a huge inspiration for me to want to do that because I saw a need of why we needed to actually listen to survivors. And it was also frustrating because I couldn't find a library of survivor testimonies anywhere on the internet. And so I had a lot of different signs that pointed me to creating my channel. This interview was one of them. And so are the ones that I will be posting. So I'll have old interviews. I will have informational videos that were made, educational videos on MK Ultra, on these different sub projects of it, and anything that has to do with, survivors with MK Ultra, SRA, and so on. So I will be having that. That will not be original content for me. It will be reposted content. But it's also very valuable. A lot of this paved the way for where we're at now. And these amazing people, including Svali, I have her interview that was done in 2006 on here, with another creator. And, a lot of these people who came forward 20, 25, 30 years ago, they're the reason why many of us have voices today, and for me to have the ability to meet survivors and to be able to create content that helps support bringing this information forward to the public, and so I really hope that you guys tune into that. I will be streaming that as well on YouTube whenever I catch up, as long, again, as these videos are accepted on YouTube. And I think it's a really fun and educational and inspiring way to celebrate those who help pave the way for us, and then for us to continue our learning from the past, and compare it to the future, learn from the past, and ultimately just increase our own learning and maybe even be introduced to some new survivors that you guys might not meet if you're only meeting current survivors. Some of these survivors are not speaking out as much anymore, or if at all. So it's a great opportunity for you guys to learn. So that is Tuesday nights. So essentially Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday nights at 6 p.m. Central Time, I stream. There's a live chat. And again, these will be migrating onto YouTube as well once I get YouTube caught up to current. Like I said, I'm about 50 episodes behind, so I will catch up and we will have YouTube as well. If you guys could please share these platforms also, it would mean a lot to me. Since getting deleted off YouTube, obviously my content is not promoted on other platforms. It's very difficult for me to grow. And I would really appreciate the help and support if you guys could help share that I am back on YouTube, that I am streaming on Rumble currently, and that you guys would help encourage people to come join us and help share these incredible testimonies and voices that are so brave to come forward and share. I am also on iTunes, so the Imagination podcast. I'm also on there if you prefer to listen, or if you have an iTunes account and it's just easier. I am on Spotify as well, all current episodes. Obviously, there's not video on these platforms, but you guys can still listen. I think many people mostly do listen to these episodes, but you guys can find me there as well. I am on BitChute also under the Imagination podcast, all current episodes. I do stream to X, so this does not have the chat. It's not as organized. It's really difficult sort of to find all my old episodes on here. However, I do live stream them as they are premiering. You can share them, you can watch them on this platform. And I do help advertise as well, new episodes such as this one that's premiering tonight. So if you guys can follow me on X as well, I use this as my personal account. It's at the Emmapreneur. So this one is my personal account that I'm on here, and I do live stream here as well. And then on my Substack, for those of you who want to keep up with me here, maybe you follow me and have noticed, I have started a collection of articles that feature every single episode that comes out, a breakdown of it. So for example, I'll click on one of my most recent ones. So I'm creating episodes as well if you guys prefer to sort of read and have notes that are taken. These give outlines. It gives the runtime of the episode. You can click on the photos or the links of the episodes through here. It shares sort of a timeline of what is covered in these episodes. It shares my introduction that I write so you guys can have an overview of the episode and the guest, and then also an overall summary of each episode, in addition to, again, the episode link at the bottom. So you guys can also get this to your email if you prefer that, and you guys can look at the episodes and check them out, learn a few things from the notes that are taken and listed here, and have that, like I said, delivered straight to your email every day after the episode airs. You guys will get on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you guys will get an email straight to your inbox that will have the episode that comes out and all of this information, including the link to get the episode. So follow me on Substack too if you can. I also have on Substack offered my platform to different creators and survivors. So for example, a podcast guest, Monarch survivor that went by Howl, he has been contributing to my Substack and creating articles for you guys. And these are amazing. These are personal handwritten testimony excerpts from their stories, their personal thoughts. It's been a really beautiful addition to my podcast. And so if any of you on the other side are a survivor listening and want to contribute this way, you guys can, and you guys can email me content and I'm happy to post it for you. And you can obviously be as vague, as anonymous, and as open or vague as you wish. And it's a great way to be anonymous, to keep yourself safe if you want to share information. Same thing if you're an advocate. If you're somebody who just doesn't feel ready to share or can't, if you're not safe or in a safe place or a safe space to share through speaking on a public platform and using your voice and identity in any way, I offer my Substack to you guys to hopefully fill that gap and to be able to provide a platform for you to anonymously still share information, education, firsthand testimony without any risk to your safety. Safety is always number one. Always, always, always. And if you wish to be on my podcast as a guest, if you're a survivor and you're wondering how to get in touch with me, if you want to share your story on my podcast, and you can be as anonymous as you want here as well. Obviously, there might be some things that you may need equipment for. If you want to disguise your voice, you may need to purchase something to do that. However, you can be on the screen, you can share your regular voice, you can turn your camera off, you can pick an alias name to go by if you do not want to share your actual name. We can use just a first name if you don't want to share your last name. There's a lot of different ways that we can help make your experience disclosing as safe as possible. And like I said, that is always my goal. I never publish an episode without the guest's full consent. Many of my guests actually help with the titles of their episodes. They provide the photos for their thumbnails. I get a lot of help from the guests, and they have say in every single little part of this, including the video actually being released to the public. I send the video to most of my guests who want the video to review. They send me back feedback if they would like things edited, if they would like anything altered or blurred, and I am more than happy to accommodate however I can. And like I said, the guest always has full say. It is the guest episode before it is mine. This is not a podcast about me. It is about these testimonies, and ultimately it's about keeping this community and every guest safe. And so that is my mission and my intent here. And I would love to have more outreach if any of you on the other side would like to be a guest, or whether it's on my podcast or on my Substack. So feel free to go in the show notes. And every episode on the show notes, I do have links for you guys to click, and I'll show you real quick. So down here under the episode, I'm on Rumble. You just go down, you scroll, and I have all the links to connect with my guests and with myself, and you guys can just click those. So I really look forward to connecting more with you guys and hopefully having you guys stream with me across multiple platforms. Even if you don't partake in particularly like a platform like Rumble or BitChute even, I just encourage you guys to just follow anyways. You can turn your notifications off. However, if you do primarily follow on YouTube, for example, and my content gets deleted or my channel gets taken down, you guys can then know where to find me and be able to just go to another platform and get an update like what I'm doing currently with providing updates and periodically and giving you guys some information to hopefully help clear up any confusion, any questions, and just to kind of catch up with you guys, no matter where you're streaming from and connecting with me at. So I hope that that clears up a little bit of the questions that you guys have. I hope that that encourages you guys to use some other platforms to keep up with my content, and ultimately to be able to connect with these incredible people who are heroes for coming forward and sharing the information that they bare their soul to tell us on this podcast. It is a great honor to be able to do this, and every single guest on my show, whether from past or present, is a miracle. And I really appreciate all of your guys' support and hope that you guys will, again, follow me on YouTube at Imagination Podcast Official, my new channel, share my new episodes, watch them, or I should say my older episodes, watch them, share them, and then they will be caught up soon, and you guys will be able to witness and partake in brand new episode premieres on this channel pretty soon as well. So hopefully I'll have an update for that also whenever I get caught up. But I will probably be doing more live streaming too on my Rumble channel potentially, just to add some extra content there and to sort of grow that account, since that one I believe will be more stable in the future. So I may be doing more content on there than these other channels who I have to be a little bit more careful and or that don't have live streaming slash premiere and chat options for creators. So I hope that that clears up some questions and concerns and helps catch you guys up. I will be again doing these sort of catch-up episodes periodically, maybe like once a month or so, maybe a little bit more time, just depending on what's going on. But I was getting a lot of questions on YouTube as to, you know, are these new episodes? I swear this was an old episode. Can you please provide the dates that these were aired? Yes, YouTube is all older episodes right now, and I'm catching up. And once I am caught up, I will be having live premieres there as well, as long as the content is YouTube friendly. And I really look forward to connecting with you guys there on other platforms. So I hope that this helps. Again, reach out to me. My email is at imaginationpodcastofficial or excuse me, at scratch that. So if you guys want to email me, if you want to be on my show, or if you guys want to collaborate on a Substack article, reach out to me you guys can actually just reach out to me on Substack. There's a DM option. If you'd rather email me, you can email me at imagineabetterworld2020@gmail.com or standbysurvivors@protonmail.com if you prefer that platform. But feel free to connect with me on social media too. You guys can DM me on Twitter/X. So there's lots of different ways that you guys can connect with me, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. I couldn't do this without any of you. I'm so grateful for all of you and look forward to continue growing this platform and across other platforms with all of you guys. So thank you all for listening. Bless you all, and we will see you next time.